Hi, today our topic is what is a learning organizations. So a learning organizations can be defined as any organizations that prioritize personal and professional growth through knowledge transfer. So these organizations encourage learning as a part of their fundamental culture and overall vision for long-term success. So, Peter Senge, author of the fifth discipline, The Art of Practice of the Learning Organizations, so popularized the term of learning organization in the early 90s. So, Senge is an advocate for decentralized leadership, a model in which all people in an organization can work toward a common goal. So his five disciplines of a learning organizations outlines. So now I discuss about this. First of all, personal mastery. So in an interview, Sanjay called a personal mastery the cornerstone of a learning organizations. So personal mastery is the development of the capacity to accomplish personal goals. So, learning organizations make this possible by creating an environment where employees can, through reflection, develop their own sense of visions. So, how they look at the world, what matter to them, and what they are passionate about contributing to, said Senji. The personal vision is the soil in which shared visions can be grown. So, shared visions. A shared vision is only possible in an environment of trust and collaborations instead of compliance to from a high corporate leadership works together with employees toward a common vision. So, creating an environment where employees feel heard and are encouraged to take risk. Now, mental models. With the mental models, we understand how our deeply ingrained assumptions are generalized, affect our interactions and decisions in organizations. To uh, perhaps Senjay, the understanding the difference between hearing what someone said and truly understanding what they said, and understanding the gap between what actually happened and what we perceived happening requires reflection. So in a environment we take what we see as truth. Now, team learning. So, team learning can only happen when team members are humble, when they are willing to reflect and take into account other people's view. So, suspending personal biases in order to work as a whole in a collaborative environment in an organization. Now, systems thinking. So, systems thinking is the idea that we are part of an interrelated system, not a disjoint set of personal systems. Thinking addresses the whole and to create an understanding of how parts are interconnected. So, system thinking is a sensibility for the suitable interconnection connectedness. It gives living systems their unique character. Now, what does a learning organization look like? So, how are these disciplines actually reflected in an organizations? So, the thinking discipline starting that a learning organizations which they call a learning company, so is an organization that facilitates the learning of all its members and continuously transform itself. So the learning company is a strategy of sustainable development. So learning of all its members means that learning organization must embrace learning at all levels. So which means that management and executive level employees have to embrace learning and foster creative thinking from the corner office to the production floor. Now, digital learning manager and leadership's development associates describe the three keys aspects of learning organizations. So, number one, learning environment. Number two, learning process and practices. Number three, leaderships in a learning organizations and learning environment also. So the people need to feel safe to express their opinions in an organization. So take risk, examine failures and challenges. So dominance ideologies also. So difference are appreciated and there is an openness to new ideas because it disrupts interior and encourages innovations in organizations. Now, learning organizations also have a deep commitment to learning process and practices. So, the collect of all kinds of information from a variety of sources, both internal and external, analyzing and interpreting it to solve problems and identify trends. So, learning organizations also share their knowledge through training using a variety of methods, and they also use assessments to foster continual improvement in organizations. So, first and foremost, leaders in a learning organizations are learners themselves. They set the example for others and facilitate the learning environment as well as learning processes and practices in organizations. So now we discuss about the whatever the method cooperated need to meet learners where they are, which means providing learner with that they need to know to be successful and to growth in their jobs. If learners believe that what they are learning will help them, they are very likely to be motivated to learn more and be more engaged in their jobs. So, another aspects of learning organizations is that learning is happening all the items. Learning never stops in an organization with a strong shared vision. So, employees and executives alike are curious and embodied to learn what they need to be their best in organizations. So learning organizations also learn from their mistakes and actively engage in problem solving to quickly pivot to better solutions. So how do learning organizations facilitate learning? So now that we all know that learning organizations looks like, how to do they making learning happen? Organizations must develop a learning culture in which learning is continuous. So in the form of online classes, tuitions, reimbursement, mentorships on the job training, webinars, e-learning, in-person classes, and method depends on the learning goal. So to figure out what learners need, you have to ask them first of all. Talk to managers and employees, conduct surveys and focus groups. Take a trip to the production floor and conduct on the spot interview. Talk to your HR department also. Shadow a few employees to identify areas of frustration and gaps in knowledge. So all these methods are not only good ways to determine what learners need. So they create that all important feelings that management cares about what they think and wants to invest in their learning. So while training methods in the focus of another articles, learning organizations need to make sure that employees training is targeted and convenient. Consider micro learning which provides quick answer to targeted questions. So gamifications which provides employees rewards such as badges and points, or mobile learning or mLearning, so which is content written to be displayed on mobile device, so making it accessible whenever the learner need it. where they are. Now, benefits of learning organizations. So, shifting from the traditional top down corporate learning structure has a lot of benefit beyond fostering a healthy learning environment. So, happy employees means less turnover. So, employees buy in and collaborations lead to happier employees, which leads to less turnover and better news for the bottom line. As hiring, then rehiring leads to higher training cost and most hours spent on training than performing the job. A sense of community. When companies shows employees that they are about their opinions, employees care more about the company, making them more invested and willing to work hard toward the company's success. New ideas and solutions. As a creating an environment where employees feels hard and are encouraged to take risk. The challenges to status quo creates openness to innovate ideas and creative solutions. So success based on knowledge sharing, with more people contributing to share goals, there a better chance of success. Sometimes less is not more. So when executive managers and employees are not working alone in their CEOs and instead depends upon each other's decisions are better informed as they are based on multiple opinions from the bottom to the top rungs of the corporate ladders. Smarter employees, companies who invest in their employees, giving them to tools they need to do their jobs better, makes employees more efficient and confident, and leads to innovate more productivity and better customer service when they apply what they have learned. So the where to start the learning organizations? Want to become a learning organization? The first step is to take a hard look at your organizations. Are you open to change? What's your current learning culture? Where are the learning gaps? As a senior leaderships on board, if so, are they willing to talk and walk to walk, showing all executives, managers, and employees that continuous learning at all levels is the new norms. So assemble a team, form all levels of your organizations to identify shared values around company culture, learning and engagement. Remember, communications, a company culture, and telling employees what they must learn from the ivory tower is old school. So collaborations from the bottom up creates an accountability and buy-in. So be prepared to make e-learning a habit and make sure you are also prepared to allocate time for everyone to learn. It's worth taking risk and challenging the status quo. Companies that embrace learning organizations ideals are more likely to success than 40 to 50 years average life span. So thanks for watching my educational channels. Thanks a lot. If you like this my channels, please subscribe and share and comments on my